when I told John we need to talk. He came home, he grabbed a chair, he put it in front, he put two chairs facing each other. He's like, sit down, and he's like, talk. And I was like, oh my gosh, aggressive much?
Yes. What up, family? Welcome to the Bacon Bits Podcast, where we desire for you to take these bits of information and immediately apply them to your life for success. The ground rules for our podcast is that it will always be encouraging. I love making people feel better. Informational, uplifting. I just want you to come on and be a better person from the stuff that we say. Man, this information is so important that we always want you to say the same thing at the beginning of every podcast. Say these words out loud. Please say valuable.
Valuable.
Information.
Información. Aplicado.
Equals success.
Equals success.
Yes, that voice you hear is the one and only, the queen of this castle, the lover of my life, my soul, my being, the one and only.
He's on
Diana
one today, everybody, so he's a little
Acosta-Bacon. Welcome, my love.
Hey, babe. Hey, babe. I know you're normally extra, but you're a little bit.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little extra.
Today. Got a little extra sauce
you're
on there.
here with me.
Yes, my love.
And our wonderful Shay, our producer.
Shay. We love our Shay.
We love that girl. She just makes us happy when she walks into our environment. Our presence is just wonderful. Her presence. So we're going to be talking about, again, the wonderful 5 love languages, but with a little twist to them. Okay? We didn't talk about so far.
You call them a twist if you want to call them a twist. Not really a twist, but anyway, the 5 love languages, just to recap, are words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. We're going to go on the 2, which are my top ones. And that's quality time and physical touch. And honestly, quality time is probably the most common language to speak for both men and women. It's the most common, I believe.
I know, it's crazy because we usually do like once every 2 months. We teach I teach a healthy relationship class every Wednesday at my job. And every 2 months we go over the 5 love languages. And it's amazing that either number 1 or 2, every time we take a poll, it's quality time.
Yep. It's the most common language spoken. And, people quote this all the time when it comes to like getting things for our kids, and they don't even realize it, that they're quoting this love language when they say it's not presents, quote unquote gifts. It's your presence. Ha, ha, ha. We all say that. It's our presence rather than the presents, like the gifts. This is talking quality time. And we quote that a lot. And even people who don't have this love language quote that, because it's not about the stuff when it comes to raising our children and spending time with our spouses and our friends. We just want to spend time together. We just want to be together. We don't have to do nothing. You don't even have to talk to me. Just be in the room with me. Let's watch a movie and snack. You don't even have to talk. I just want time together, right? But actual time together. Because I know my husband, I know my baby's big on distracting himself when I just want some quality time. And I don't want to talk to him when I'm trying to talk to him and tell him something, and he's playing a game on his phone, and he's not even looking at me. And anyway,
I had my moments.
We're going to go into quality time. So people who value quality time really appreciate the time you spend together with undivided attention. Put down, if you're going to sit with them, put down the cell phone. If you're going to go out to lunch with someone, don't throw your cell phone on the table. That's just like basic. You really shouldn't do that. So put down your phone for more than a couple of minutes. Having dinner together, how about you turn the TV off and it really embrace your one-on-one time. You have to show your quality time. So maybe you want to save time for discussions. So your partner might like doing activities with you and then talking about those experiences maybe afterwards. Maybe you have told everybody in the office. I know my husband, sometimes he'll go to work and he has a couple of friends he works with, Marcella and Tamara. Like he has a couple ladies he works with.
Noni.
Noni. So he has a few friends and he'll come and And I'm like, oh, how was work? And he's like, oh, I told you, remember? Oh my gosh, and so. And I'm like, no, you probably told one of them, but you didn't tell me anything. So it's important maybe like to pay attention, because I mean, not saying that he can't share with his friends. Of course, you know, that's like your work family. But maybe if he knows my love language is quality time, and he's going to make sure to maybe keep a story for me, hopefully, you know?
Yes.
Talk about work, you know, talk about movies, talk about the plans you're making. I know that I honestly feel a little bit left out when I find like, oh, I bought a package for something, and like he doesn't even tell me. Like, it's not the fact that he bought it, it's the fact that we didn't like, oh, what was that about? You didn't even tell me about that book, or you didn't even mention that movie to me. Like, tell me about it. So talk about what you thought and felt about it. That's something key for quality time.
Yeah, and I can understand why, because when you say stories over and over and over again, you be thinking you told certain people because you felt like you didn't told the story so many times. And sometimes I will forget to tell my baby the story. So that's where that's one of the things that I have to work on. Yeah,
and quality time, you have to listen to what they have to say. Like, put down your phone. And this is not just for quality time, but this is good, what would you call that? Good manners? Put down your phone and look at the person who's talking to you. Quality time also means quality listening.
Yes.
Like, look at the person who's talking to you. I know I don't like talking to people when they're talking on the phone, like, and you're looking at them and they're like, yeah, go ahead and tell me when you're listening to, you can't listen to what I'm saying and listen to someone on the phone or playing a game or watching a movie or watching sports, or like, that's not the time to try and talk to them. Like, say, hey, can we talk a little bit later? I know this was a really funny one. When John and I were first married, it was really funny because we must have been married maybe a couple months. And I just texted him. I said, hey, we need to talk when you get home. So I had so many things going on. I had some things, I had 2 jobs at the time, and I had some things at work. I wanted to take some time off for vacation. We haven't decided. So there was so many things that I wanted to talk about, but we haven't had the chance. We simply just, it gets away from you. You come home, you start eating dinner, the kids were still with us, and it just, life happens. And I'm sure everybody can relate to life happening, and then you're just tired and you remember at 2 a.m. or something. So I texted, we need to talk. 2 seconds later, he calls me. He's like, what's going on?
Oh, you remember big time. And yeah. I don't remember, was it a text where you told me that first thing in the morning? And I was torturing myself, trying to figure out what we needed to talk about. And it was, my mind was being racked by the thought of, like, what is it did I miss something? Did I forget to take out the trash? Did I forget to make the bed? Did I forget it was so many things. And it's because we hadn't caught up. We didn't
understand each other either.
Yeah.
And we didn't understand because this is part of assumption. Don't assume that sentence is always negative. Like when I say, hey, we need to talk, it didn't mean like he did something wrong or I did something wrong or there's something wrong in our family. It simply, for me, meant we need to talk because we just haven't had time. And I need like quality time. Let's get a cup of coffee and just like sit down and talk, because I want to figure out when we want a vacation, where we're going to go on vacation, what's going on with the kids. And there's some issues with work. I mean, there were so many things I wanted to just talk to John about. We just honestly didn't have the chance. But I remember, you taking it so negatively, assuming it was something negative because societal norms mean that we need to talk means something negative, and it shouldn't. It shouldn't. So, my first suggestion would be to people who, when someone says to you, we need to talk, don't assume the worst. Just be like, hey, is everything okay? Because don't just jump to conclusions and get angry about what you didn't do, or don't just assume. Just be like, hey, is everything okay? Yeah, you're right. We haven't had a chance to sit down and talk. So yeah, let's have a coffee date or whatever, and it's key. Again, quality time also means being a quality listener. So listening to what they have to say. Give your partner undivided attention. You have to separate your work life from your home life when you're with them. I mean, it doesn't mean you can't talk about it. It just means there's a separateness. We have a tendency to give everything good to strangers. We go to work and we give most of us, 100%, 150, we're wiped, we're fried. We are giving our best. If we're in customer service, we're putting a smile on our face and then grinding our teeth under our smile. We're giving our best, and then we get home and our family gets the fumes.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
Our family gets the fumes, and the last thing people want to do is talk because they're so tired. But we have to be really cognitive about where we're putting our energy, and try to recognize that. And maybe that means talking to your spouse or your family and be like, hey, everybody, when mommy gets home or daddy or whatever, and be like, I need 30 minutes. Maybe that's what you need. Instead of driving around the block one more time because it's chaos in the house, maybe sit the family down and be like, hey, listen, I want to decompress and I don't want to be stressful in front of you. Mm-hmm. This has nothing to do with you. I just need to decompress. So maybe 30 minutes. If you want to set a timer, set a timer. Mm-hmm. If that helps, it helps.
Yes, it does.
Or just be like, I'm going to go for a walk. Anybody want to walk with me? Walk the dog. If you have a dog, this is perfect to have pets because it helps us stay healthy, and it also gives you a little bit of decompression time. But staying off your email, limiting how much more you multitask.
Right.
The worst thing for someone who receives love by quality time is a spouse or a partner who insists on multitasking and thinking they can talk to you while they check their emails. And
never works.
They're not going to feel loved, and that's not how you want the attention either.
That's true, but definitely, because we know, like, coming up in 2 weeks, we get in our RV and getting away from everything and everybody, because we know it's our time. It's been a few months where we've been hustling, and at the same time slowing down, but getting ready for this new season coming up. Like, okay, we need to depart, get some time away, with no cell phone reception, no Wi-Fi, no nothing, and get a chance to just be with each other and really embrace and enjoy the quality time and all that wonderful stuff that comes with that, so we can be ready for the new season.
Yeah. So, what not to do.
Mm-hmm.
So if your spouse, your loved one, your child, your partner is love language is quality time, these are some of the things that you probably don't want to do if you want them to feel loved, is being distracted while talking. So these folks, I'm talking about myself also, they want your undivided attention in order to feel loved.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're distracted doing the dishes, and be like, go ahead and talk to me. I'm doing dishes. I do that.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're trying to tell you something, you make them feel unimportant.
Yeah.
Or what they're saying is
eye contact.
Yeah, you make them feel unimportant, and what they're saying is unimportant. So try to focus on them completely while they're talking. And I don't mean, I've had this too, where people sit down. I remember when you got home after that conversation, when I told I told John we need to talk. He came home, he grabbed a chair, he put it in front, he put two chairs facing each other. He's like, sit down. And he's like, talk. And I was like, oh my gosh, aggressive much?
Yes.
Aggressive much? And that's the last thing I wanted to do is talk to him, because I'm like, first of all, why are you so angry, and what is going on with you? Because I literally just had so many checklists of things to talk about, and none of them were from an anger position, right? But that's where he was coming from. So we really had to learn each other's communication skills and
Love
stop
languages,
jumping to conclusions about certain things. So try to focus on them completely when they're talking, even if you have to ask like for a few minutes to finish up what you're doing. Be like, you know what, let me finish these dishes because I really want to finish them, so I can focus on you and not be distracted, because I'm going to be thinking I got dishes to do. Just be like, hey, in 30 minutes, let's get together, and that gives me 30 minutes to finish up what I'm doing. Is that cool? And that's good. Again, another thing what not to do is cancel your dates. This can be triggering for anybody, honestly. But if you continue to neglect to spend any one-on-one time with someone whose love language is quality time, they're going to feel unloved very quickly. If you just keep pushing them off and then just keep canceling. And I mean, I understand things come up and you have to do a rain check, but set a date. Don't be like, I'll call you. No, like set a date, because you might as well just say, I want to spend no time with you.
Right. And it works on both ends, because we talked about just the dates, but it's also with your kids, it's with your coworkers, with friends, to keep on setting appointments and canceling the appointments. That speaks a lot about how important that person is to you. So if you can't keep that commitment, don't make the commitment, but once you lock it in, make sure, you surround everything around that commitment that you made to lock that in, so that person to feel special, because guess what? That's what we want to do. We want everybody around us to feel special. And if they can get that time along with you and really get a chance to, pick your brain and just listen to see where you're at, and to feel loved, because that's their love language of quality time.
Yeah. And honestly, in my experience, quality time also means quantity time. Mm-hmm. We all have needs for quality time. All of us want we all want time with whoever we love. We do. We want time with our children, but we also want quality time, not just quantity, but quality. Yeah. We want them both. So it's about quantity, quality time. So whenever, even if you do things with your kids, with your spouse, with your family, you want it to be fun, but it's one-on-one. It's not a distracting kind of thing. Yeah. Usually people don't do really well with long distance relationships, obviously. And people who have really demanding careers, it's pretty tough. So you have to really be intentional about it, because the worst thing you can do is schedule time together only to be scrolling on your phone and checking your emails. And honestly, let's be truthful, that stuff is rude and it's bad manners anyway. So let's avoid doing activities together that are distracting, and focus on quality time and really appreciate some direct contact. Remember, it's really great to make someone feel loved, but it's also important to find gentle ways to ask them to do things that will make us feel loved also. So I know that I usually will tell people, I'd love to see you. Is there any way that you can spend can we go out to coffee? Can we do this? And there's so much time I can get blown up, kind of just people will blow me. What do you call that? Blow you off. And just be like, oh sure, give me a call, or do this or do that. And then they just simply, one of the hardest things, one of the biggest lessons I've learned this past year has been behavior is language. Behavior is language, and the way people treat you or choose not to spend time with you or choose to not be around you, it's language. Behavior is language. Yeah, and I think it's huge, because we to the point now, and it's a blessing, because let's just be honest, we're getting older, and I think it's always said, since COVID, it seemed like something that's just really shifted when it comes to time. So we literally, when we're friends and family, we'll pull out the phones and be like, okay, let's set a date for when is the next time we're gonna see each other, because that way you can be, you're on top of it, you are being proactive in that quality time with that relationship. So you want to make sure that, guess what, we're actually doing it, because if you don't, man, we talking about weeks, months can pass by before you see that person be like, man, we ain't really spent no quality time together in a minute. So you really have to work on being persistent with setting up times for spending that time together. And I understand. I remember being a young mom with kids, and it can be really distracting. And you got a full-time job, you have kids, you got to pick them up, you have sports, you have homework, and it feel impossible to spend time with those you love. Maybe invite them over, be like, hey, listen, we got a lot going on, but I haven't seen you, so why don't you come over for dinner? We don't know what we're going to eat, but we're just going to be together. Yeah. That person who wants quality time will love it, will take it. They will take it in a second, because they just want to spend time with you. But we also understand that life is busy. Life is really busy. So just making time. I know that John and I have a really sweet friend of mine that once a month she comes over, and she's been doing this for years, and I'm so grateful for my friend Nikki. Yeah. She will always put me on her calendar. Once a month we get together, she comes and we spend a few hours and we laugh, we cry, we just spend time together, and she's one of my dearest friends, and I love her so much, and I'm so grateful that I feel so special, because it's once a month that we see each other. We barely talk throughout the month because she's busy and I'm not as busy as she is, but it's just a matter of we set a date. Yeah. John and I have just set a date with a couple of friends of ours that we really cherish, and they live almost an hour away from us, but we spend every 3 months, we're setting a date, and we love it. Actually, our next date is, I think, in 2 months, but we're going to have a sleepover. We're going to have a slumber party or something. We're going to go to their house.
And they're like adults, old people?
Adults. I'm like, yeah, an old-fashioned slumber party at their house. And we're all the same age. We're in our 50s, but we're just going to spend time together. And we're all so excited about it. We're so excited about just spending quality time. And I don't think any of us have spent time to sit and talk about what our love languages are. It's just a matter of we're being intentional. We're setting dates to spend time together.
Yeah, and it was crazy because me and my boy Herm went out for coffee because we try to get get in once a month. Hanging out with each other and just picking each other's brains and seeing where we're at. And we were out at a IHOP, and me and him was having great conversation, but I just keep on having to look over to the right, and it was this older couple. They were in their 60s, and from the time they got to the restaurant to the time they left, they was on their phones, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? This is crazy." They talked more to us on their way out than they talked to each other the whole time they were out at dinner, and I was like, "This is crazy." But that's where you have to be intentional about having quality time. Because if you don't, it could easily, we'll get distracted. It's so easy to get distracted.
Yeah. One of the issues is that we stop asking our spouses questions. Mm-hmm. They should be your best friend.
Yeah.
Ask them the questions you ask your friend. So what's going on at work? Even if, you already know. Look, no, talk to them like you would your friend. Mm-hmm, you would tell your friend what's going on at work. Give them a different perspective. Tell them and ask questions. So what's your dreams like right now? What has changed this past month for you? How have I shown up for you that you appreciate? How have I missed it that maybe there's something that you needed me in and I just wasn't present? Like, ask each other questions and stay connected. And this could be with your spouse. It could be with your children. It could be with your friends. Continue to ask questions.
Yeah, it is so important. So important, man. But, man, I'm so grateful and thankful for you guys. It is such a blessing, man. So we are on point 4 of the love languages, and it is number 4, quality time. So, guys, do me a favor. This week, be intentional about setting up that quality time with the people that in your family that loves quality time. Be intentional about making a moment. It can be something spontaneous, whether it's, let's go out and do a nacho together, or let's go out and have a cup of coffee, or let's go on a walking trail and just do some walking and talking at the same time. But it can be so many ways you can spend quality time together, and it's going to speak volumes to that person that you love. This is your boy John Bacon with another segment of Bacon Bits with his queen, Diana Acosta-Bacon. We love you guys. God bless. All right. What's up, family? It's your boy John Bacon from the Bacon Bits podcast. Thank you so much for your support, likes, and ratings. Please don't just listen, but rate me, follow me, and subscribe. This is an amazing way to offer free support. My beautiful queen and I have some books that we have written for your growth.
So the first book we have is a workbook, actually. It's called Healthy Relationships, and this is a workbook through the lens of faith. Because what makes a relationship healthy or unhealthy? So this workbook is a 12-week, it's a biblically grounded course, and every week has a few different principles. So some of our topics that we're covering are respect, cultivating security. And this is not just between a husband and wife. This is between parents, between siblings, between friends, between your bosses, employers. So it's really important, and everyone deserves a healthy relationship.
And also we have The Balanced Life by John Bacon. It covers how to be prosperous in your finances, relationships, your health, your mind, and your spirit. So you can pick that up on Amazon, also on audiobook. And we also have
The Unraveling, a creative healing journal, pinings, poems, prayers, and ponderings of my precarious life. I've had a testimony of I've had 2 brain tumors and 2 brain surgeries, and I'm super grateful, but I'm still grieving the process of healing. And this is part of the process. In this book, you have devotionals, you have prayers, and you have some ponderings. And in between these pages, there's a space for you to also be prompted to paint and to create your own, or maybe you want to write something in these books. This is part of your creative healing journal that we get to walk through together.
And you guys can just head over to Kingdom Servants First. Kingdom Servants, the number 1, st.com. And you can purchase all 3 of these books Thank you for your support, your love, and your contributions. God bless.